Welcome back, Rare Coin Insider. Have you ever wondered whether the small dime sitting quietly in your pocket, hidden inside an old coin jar, or forgotten in a family collection could be worth far more than its face value? Most people never give a second thought to the tiny 10-cent coin they receive as change every day. It is often tossed into a drawer, dropped into a piggy bank, or spent without hesitation. But experienced coin collectors know that appearances can be deceiving. Throughout history, ordinary-looking coins have surprised collectors by selling for thousands, and in some rare cases even hundreds of thousands of dollars, because of exceptional condition, rare minting errors, or unique historical significance. That is exactly why collectors carefully inspect every coin they find, especially Roosevelt dimes produced during the modern era. Today, we are taking a close look at the fascinating 1992 Roosevelt dime, a coin that millions of Americans have handled without realizing the interesting story behind it. While most examples are only worth face value, certain specimens in extraordinary condition or with rare minting errors have attracted significant attention from collectors. Understanding what makes one coin ordinary and another highly desirable requires knowing its history, design, production process, and the characteristics that separate common coins from collectible treasures. The 1992 Roosevelt dime was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest and most historic minting facilities in the United States. The small letter P found on the obverse of the coin indicates its place of manufacture. Interestingly, Philadelphia coins carried no mint mark for most of American history. Beginning in 1980, however, the Philadelphia Mint started placing the P mint mark on dimes, making it easier for collectors to identify where each coin was produced. This dime continues the Roosevelt dime series that first appeared in 1946, shortly after the passing of President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Roosevelt was one of the most influential presidents in American history, leading the nation through the Great Depression and much of World War II. His leadership left a lasting impact on the country, and after his death, the United States honored him by replacing the Mercury dime with the Roosevelt dime. The decision also recognized Roosevelt's support of the March of Dimes campaign, which helped fund research to combat polio, a disease that affected millions of people around the world, including Roosevelt himself. Although the Roosevelt dime has remained remarkably consistent for decades, every single year of production has its own story. The 1992 dime represents another chapter in this long-running series, reflecting modern American coinage and the incredible precision required to manufacture millions of coins every year. The obverse of the 1992 dime features a detailed portrait of President Franklin D. Roosevelt facing left. Around the portrait are several familiar inscriptions. The word "Liberty" appears prominently along the left side of the design, while the national motto, "In God We Trust," is positioned below Roosevelt's chin. The year, 1992, appears toward the lower right portion of the coin, with a small P mint mark located nearby, identifying Philadelphia as the mint of origin. Turning the coin over reveals an equally symbolic reverse design. At the center stands a torch representing liberty. Beside the torch is an olive branch symbolizing peace, while an oak branch represents strength and independence. Together, these elements reflect important American ideals that have remained part of the Roosevelt dime for generations. Around the edge of the reverse are the inscriptions, "United States of America, 1 dime," and the Latin motto, "E pluribus unum," meaning, "Out of many, one." Despite its small size, the Roosevelt dime is carefully engineered. The 1992 dime weighs exactly 2.268 grams. Its diameter measures approximately 17.91 millimeters, making it one of the smallest circulating coins produced by the United States Mint. The coin has a thickness of approximately 1.35 millimeters and features a reeded edge consisting of closely spaced grooves around the rim. These reeds originally served as protection against coin clipping, a practice in which precious metal was shaved from coins. Even though modern dimes no longer contain silver, the reeded edge remains an important design feature carried forward from earlier generations of American coinage. The composition of the 1992 P. Roosevelt dime is also worth understanding. Unlike dimes produced before 1965, which contain 90% silver, the 1992 P dime is made from a copper core surrounded by outer layers of copper nickel. Specifically, it consists of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel in a clad construction. This change occurred because rising silver prices made it impractical to continue producing circulating coins from precious metals. As a result, modern dimes are durable, resistant to wear, and significantly less expensive to manufacture. One reason collectors enjoy studying modern coins, like the 1992 P dime, is that even within massive production runs, mistakes occasionally occur. Coin production involves numerous stages, including blank preparation, upsetting the rim, annealing, cleaning, die installation, striking under immense pressure, inspection, counting, and packaging. Each step is carefully monitored, but no manufacturing system is perfect. Small mechanical problems can occasionally create fascinating mint errors that become highly collectible. Among the most sought-after errors are off-center strikes, where the design is not perfectly centered on the coin. Another popular error involves die cracks, which appear when a die begins to fracture after repeated use. These cracks transfer onto the coin as raised lines, and sometimes develop into dramatic die breaks. Collectors also search for clipped planchets, where part of the blank coin is missing before striking, creating an unusual curved missing section along the edge. Double strikes represent another exciting possibility. In these cases, a coin is struck more than once, producing overlapping images that can vary from subtle to spectacular depending on how much the coin shifted between strikes. Broad strikes occur when the retaining collar fails during striking, allowing the coin to expand beyond its normal diameter. Although these errors are uncommon, authenticated examples often command premiums among collectors. Die rotation errors are another fascinating variety. Normally, the obverse and reverse of a United States coin align correctly when rotated. Occasionally, however, improper die installation causes the reverse to appear rotated at an unusual angle. The greater the rotation, the more interesting the coin becomes to specialists who collect mint errors. Collectors also pay close attention to coins showing exceptionally strong strikes. A sharply struck 1992 P dime displays crisp details throughout Roosevelt's hair, facial features, lettering, torch flames, olive leaves, and oak leaves. Such examples often receive higher grades because they preserve the original detail intended by the engraver. Condition is perhaps the single most important factor influencing the value of modern coins. Professional grading services examine each coin under magnification and assign grades based on preservation. Coins that have entered circulation usually exhibit scratches, worn high points, dull surfaces, and contact marks. These pieces generally remain worth only face value unless they contain an unusual mint error. However, coins preserved from the moment they were issued may remain in pristine mint state condition for decades. Such coins retain their original mint luster, sharp details, and attractive surfaces, making them far more desirable to collectors. Professional grading companies use the Sheldon grading scale, ranging from Poor 1 to Mint State 70. A perfect Mint State 70 coin is extremely difficult to achieve because even tiny imperfections visible under magnification prevent a perfect grade. High-grade examples certified by respected grading services often command significantly higher prices than similar coins in lower grades, particularly when population reports indicate that very few examples exist at the highest certified levels. The excitement of coin collecting often comes from the possibility that an overlooked coin could turn out to be something truly special. While the overwhelming majority of 1992 P. Roosevelt dimes remain common circulation coins worth only 10 cents, carefully preserved examples and genuine mint errors continue to attract interest within the numismatic community. For collectors, every roll searched and every pocketful of change examined carries the possibility of discovering an overlooked piece with a fascinating story to tell, proving that even one of America's smallest coins can inspire a lifetime of curiosity and collecting. As you continue exploring the world of the 1992 P. Roosevelt dime, one thing becomes increasingly clear. The true excitement isn't found in assuming every coin is valuable, but in learning how to recognize the few that genuinely stand out. Millions of these dimes were struck by the Philadelphia Mint in 1992, and the vast majority entered everyday circulation. They passed through cash registers, vending machines, grocery stores, gas stations, banks, and countless hands across the United States. Because of this heavy circulation, most surviving examples show signs of wear, including scratches, rim nicks, faded luster, and softened design details. These circulated pieces are generally worth only their face value of 10 cents. However, collectors know that condition can make a dramatic difference. A coin that was carefully preserved from the day it left the mint may still display brilliant original mint luster, crisp lettering, sharp design elements, and virtually no contact marks. Such coins are often described as mint state examples, and the finest certified pieces can command premiums because collectors assembling high-grade Roosevelt dime sets compete for the best available specimens. One of the first things experienced collectors do when examining a 1992 P dime is inspect the surfaces under good lighting and magnification. They look for unusual characteristics that separate an ordinary coin from a collectible one. Strong luster is an encouraging sign because it indicates the coin has experienced very little wear. They also examine Roosevelt's hair, cheek, jawline, and ear, as these are among the first areas to show friction during circulation. On the reverse, attention is given to the torch, the olive branch, and the oak branch, where fine details should remain sharp on well-preserved examples. Another important step involves checking the rim. Damage to the rim often reduces a coin's desirability, while a clean, fully struck rim with complete reading is preferred by collectors. Magnification can also reveal tiny die polishing lines, minor die chips, or small die cracks that may have occurred during production. Although many of these are considered minor varieties, they add character to individual coins and are often studied by specialists. Collectors are also fascinated by authentic mint errors because they offer a glimpse into the manufacturing process. An off-center strike occurs when the blank planchet is not perfectly positioned during striking, causing part of the design to be missing. The more dramatic the off-center strike, while still showing the date and mint mark, the more collectible it tends to be. A clipped planchet is another error that attracts attention. Before a coin is struck, circular blanks are punched from long strips of metal. Occasionally, the punching process overlaps a previously cut hole, creating a blank with a curved section missing. When struck, the resulting coin displays a distinctive clip that cannot be created after leaving the mint. Die cracks develop as production dies experience stress from striking thousands of coins. Initially, tiny cracks appear, transferring as raised lines onto coins. As the cracks grow, they may develop into larger die breaks or even cuts, where a portion of the die breaks away completely. These dramatic errors are especially popular among collectors because every example represents a specific stage in the life of a working die. Double strikes are particularly exciting because they demonstrate what happens when a coin receives more than one strike. Depending on how much the coin shifts between strikes, the result can range from a slight doubling to a spectacular overlapping design. Genuine double strikes differ from machine doubling and should always be authenticated by experts before assuming they carry significant value. Die rotation errors are less obvious but equally fascinating. United States coins are intended to have metal alignment, meaning that when the coin is flipped vertically, both sides remain correctly oriented. If the reverse appears rotated noticeably, the coin may represent a legitimate die rotation error. Broad strikes occur when the collar die fails to contain the expanding metal during striking. Without the collar, the coin spreads outward slightly, resulting in a larger diameter and weaker rim. Although uncommon, broad strikes are immediately recognizable once collectors know what to look for. Many beginning collectors mistakenly clean old coins, believing this will increase their value. In reality, cleaning often causes microscopic scratches and removes the original surface, reducing a coin's appeal to serious collectors. Professional numismatists generally recommend leaving coins exactly as they are found. Even a naturally toned coin with colorful surfaces is often more desirable than one that has been polished to an unnatural shine. Storage also plays a critical role in preserving collectible coins. High humidity, fingerprints, improper handling, and exposure to chemicals can permanently damage surfaces. Experienced collectors handle coins only by their edges and store them in protective holders, capsules, or archival quality albums designed specifically for long-term preservation. If you believe you discovered an unusual 1992 P. Roosevelt dime, authentication is an important next step. Professional grading services examine coins for authenticity, condition, and mint errors before assigning an official grade. A certified coin provides buyers with confidence regarding its authenticity and preservation, making it easier to buy and sell in the collector market. Auction records demonstrate how dramatically condition influences value. While ordinary circulated examples remain worth face value, exceptional mint state examples or authenticated error coins can bring substantially higher prices than common pieces. Every year, collectors continue searching bank rolls, estate collections, inherited coin jars, and forgotten piggy banks, hoping to uncover a hidden gem that has escaped attention for decades. The beauty of coin collecting lies in the fact that every coin tells a story. A single 1992 P dime may have traveled across countless cities, passed through thousands of hands, witnessed historical events, and quietly remained in circulation for years before finally being examined by someone curious enough to appreciate its history. Even if it never becomes a high-value collectible, it still represents an important piece of American numismatic history and the remarkable precision of modern coin production. Perhaps the greatest lesson this little dime teaches is that value is not determined by size. The smallest coins often inspire the biggest discoveries because they encourage people to slow down, observe carefully, and appreciate details that others overlook. Whether you're a beginner opening your first roll of coins or an experienced numismatist building a world-class collection, every search offers the possibility of learning something new. So before you spend your next Roosevelt dime, take a closer look. Check the date. Find the mint mark. Examine the design. Look for unusual errors. Study the condition under bright light. Compare it with other examples. You never know when an ordinary-looking coin might reveal an extraordinary story that has been waiting decades to be discovered. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into the fascinating world of the 1992 P. Roosevelt dime, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss future coin discoveries, rare error hunts, historical stories, and market updates. Share this video with fellow collectors, friends, and family members who might have old coins tucked away in jars, drawers, or inherited collections. And before you leave, tell us in the comments, what is the oldest Roosevelt dime you have ever found? And have you ever discovered an unusual mint error in your pocket change? Your next dime may not change your life, but taking a closer look might begin an unforgettable collecting journey.